Yes, name is Juan Fernandez from Guapa TV, Puerto Rico. All right, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about your new film. I will be directing questions individually so we can sort of make the Zoom situation work. So, Felicity, I mean, you have a fantastically eclectic filmography, but you have done love stories before in different types of contexts. What sort of your character's enthralled by a love story? I wonder what hooked you into this one in particular to make you want to do the film.
Well, I loved the character of Ellie. I'd been wanting to do something contemporary for ages, so I was really looking for something like this. And then I thought it was I was desperate to do something that was romantic, and this had everything in it. It was a real sort of crowd pleaser as well. I think it's such a feel-good film, but a feel-good film that has depth to it.
Okay. Thank you for that. So Nabhaan, let me ask you this. I mean, it's sort of interesting to sort of see how the relationship between your character and Felicity's begins, because there is that convention, but it's not, I mean, it in this particular place, it comes from the character. Was it fun sort of starting in a very sort of rigid place and loosening him up? And if you could speak about that, about the process of where they begin and then how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only was it fun, but I think it's a realistic process. I'm constantly surprised by the amount of friends who, I asked them about their love life and how they met their partner. And often it was, I didn't really like that person, or I thought they were like this. And as I got to know them, sometimes, often in the workplace, their impression changed. So it's definitely the same sentiment here with Rory and Ellie. But there is some spark. There is some spark, and there is some edge, and I think Rory likes that.
All right. So Felicity, you mentioned, I mean, the movie does have sort of the grandeur of the romance, but you are stuck in the place where you sort of exchange important messages via text. Do you think that if we got those love letters through WhatsApp or through text, they would have the sort of same impact? What's your take on that? Do you think technology is getting in the way of romance, or where do you stand on that?
Well, I don't know, because in some ways with text messages, I feel like we're actually communicating so much more than we would before. Because, with certain friends, and you're constantly in text communication. So it's not necessarily that modern technology is hindering communication. I think in some ways writing a letter allows you to be more honest in a way that probably a text message, you don't really need to access sort of genuine feelings. So I definitely feel like when you put pen to paper, you have to be a little bit more vulnerable. And I think that's what is so fascinating to Ellie, is that real vulnerability that she encounters, and the genuine love. Whereas sometimes in email and text, we can kind of hide a little bit more.
All right. So Nabhaan, I mean, one of the things that's sort of fascinating about the film is how grounded the characters and the conflicts are, but then your director manages to make it, glamorous and, like it's grander than life. So I wonder which one do you naturally incline to, because sometimes love stories are mirrors and sometimes love stories are escapes. So I wonder if you enjoyed the fact that your side of it sort of mirrors reality, and it's not so much, the fantastic yacht and all that sort of settings.
I think I particularly enjoy that paradox in the fact that in the same story there's something so grandiose and beautiful and reverent. At the same time, there's the immediacy of text, and like the awkwardness of negotiating love in the modern workplace. I love that both of those things are explored in the same breath and in the same vein. So yeah, I enjoy both, and I love that they're put together in this film. I think it makes the story really unique.
No, and that shot of you guys on the street, which I'm not going to elaborate because I don't want to spoil for people, is equally, grandiose and glamorous and romantic. So my time is up. Pleasure talking to you both. Stay safe wherever you are. Okay. Thank you so much.
Lovely. Thank you.